So the wait is almost over and the eyes of investors everywhere are on France this weekend for the first round of the presidential election. It's a packed field, but there are four front runners. On the far left of the political spectrum is Jean-Luc Mélenchon. He's backed by the communists and has promised to impose a 100% tax on anything earned above $425,000. Then there's centre-right candidate Emmanuel Macron, centrist candidate Emmanuel Macron. He's positioned himself as the anti-politician, someone who's never stood for election before. The former investment banker wants to make life easier for startups and other small businesses. On the centre-right of the Republican ticket is the controversial François Fillon. Despite being accused of nepotism, he's still in the race. He's talked about scrapping 500,000 public sector jobs and France's beloved 35-hour work week. And on the far right, the candidate that everyone has been talking about, Marine Le Pen. She wants to take France out of the Eurozone. One study has put the cost of doing so at nearly $200 billion. Now, with some small variations, France's notoriously inaccurate opinion polls put them roughly neck and neck. The most likely scenario is that the top two candidates will go to the runoff on May the 7th. But the nightmare scenario for investors is this: a second-round fight between the two Eurosceptic candidates, Jean-Luc Mélenchon and Marine Le Pen. So let's go straight to Paris now, and joining me from there is our editor-at-large, Craig Kapitas. Craig, quite a weekend ahead of you over there in Paris, but look, the UK's conservative-leaning magazine, The Spectator, had an interesting take on it. They said that the potential outcome of this week's election could be the choice between disaster and chaos. Is that how French people are seeing it?
No, The Spectator is still trying to refight the Battle of Agincourt. And, you know, financial markets, you know, enjoy their nightmares, particularly before they happen. Everyone is frightened of Marine Le Pen, but no one here believes she can win. And I believe that's the case. And based on our reporting, that seems to be the case. If Marine Le Pen were to become the president of France, I mean, where do we start? We have 3 or 4 hours. What would happen to this economy based on her 144-point platform? It would be a nightmare, and the French are not dumb.
2 words to you there: Trump, Brexit. I don't know, maybe let's not go there right now, but who knows what the picture will be like next week. What's the mood among investors in France right now?
Well, the two candidates who investors like are François Fillon and, of course, Emmanuel Macron. The problem with Macron is that he's never been elected dog catcher, and he doesn't have a political party behind him or MPs to get anything done in the National Assembly. On top of that, you go to the Tabacs here, which is where you really get an indication. It's the best place to go for a poll. Everyone in the Tabacs knows, and it's common knowledge here, that even though Macron is not a socialist, he is François Hollande's hand-picked boy here. He just wears a better suit. And the conventional, I guess you could say, between conventional and counterintuitive wisdom here, is that Fillon is the one who is going to emerge as the winner. And the markets really like Fillon. And he also would go into the National Assembly with a political party that could actually, you know, do legislation.
Craig Kapitas in Paris, we're going to be getting more from you a little bit later on in the show, but thank you for now.